So something to mention. Before we get started. Now that we're going to talk about dynamic arrays, which is going to be the solution to our problem of having to manage this resizing, right? We're going to be talking about these dynamically resized arrays. This is what's dynamic about them. And this is in contrast to our traditional or static arrays. But here is a point that I want to note. This is super important, okay? I'm going to be really precise about this. You might have even heard me in the previous video say array, okay? When I say array, I'm going to try to keep to this. If I say array in class, on a test or on an assignment, what I mean is a static array, the things that we were talking about before, the statically sized, contiguous, indexable block of memory. That is an array, okay? If I say dynamic array or Python list, then I'm talking about a list from Python, okay? Something that resizes dynamically depending on the data that's in it. Something that you can append to, something that you can slice, and we'll talk about slicing in a moment. So remember, what we talked about with an array, those are the only operations you can do. You can read or write, okay? So you can say my array at index X, I can write to it, or I can read from it, or I can get the length of my array. Those are the only operations that you can do with a standard static array. You cannot call a method on an array. This is illegal, okay? You cannot slice with an array. That is illegal, okay? A1:4. You can't do any of that. The only things you can do, read, write, or get the length. Those are the only operations. So if you use anything other than those when dealing with an array, then we are going to we're going to have an issue. And you need to understand that you're not answering the question that I asked. Okay. So I did want to cover that because this is something that students frequently miss.